Figure skater Kamila Valieva does not plan to compete in the Kinoshita Cup tournament in Japan. This was announced by her coach, Svetlana Sokolovskaya. Sport Express previously reported that Valiva was slated to compete in Tokyo from September 4th to 6th. This is the first time I've heard about Japan. We have other plans for the tournament, Sokolovskaya said. Currently, the skater does not have the neutral status required to participate in international competitions. We have individual plans for each leading athlete to participate in international competitions. Valiva was not planned as a candidate for the competition in Japan, added Kogan, general director of the Russian Figure Skating Federation. Figure skater Maria Gordiva announced that she has left Sergei Davidov's coaching staff. This decision was very difficult for me, but I would still like to express my endless gratitude for the 10 years we spent together with Sergei Dmitrievich Davidov's staff. This is my second family, to which, unfortunately, I said goodbye today. Thank you so much for everything. I am infinitely grateful to have walked this path together. 17-year-old Gordiva wrote on social media. Last season, the skater competed only at the Sergei Grinkov Memorial Tournament, where she placed 20th. Previously, she had landed a quadruple Salchow in competition. Figure skater Daniil Samsenov, in an interview with Channel 1, said he doesn't regret joining Svetlana Sokolovskaya's group. Last season, the athlete placed 17th at the Russian Championships. He trained with the Terry Tutbirds until the summer of 2025. Obviously, it hasn't been that long. But can you name the main advantages of joining Svetlana Vladimirovna's group? The first, probably the biggest, is that they can always help and adapt to you. Because if you're not feeling well and Svetlana Vladimirovna sees something's wrong, she'll make your program easier or, on rare occasions, let you off from training. But sometimes she'll adapt to you. The second biggest advantage, Eteri Georgievna, of course, has been slowly gaining some boys recently, and Andrei Mozilev, too. The competition was more or less there. But here at Sokolovskaya's sports, of course, there's twice as much competition because we have so many boys now. Essentially, it's a large men's group. Roma Savosin, Mark Kondratyuk, Grisha Fedorov, Tema Marinin, for example, is slowly growing up. The competition is fierce, and you train with a positive attitude all the time. You see something someone else did, and you go and do it again. There's more competition here, and that stimulates you a little and motivates you. That's probably a big plus too. What did last season teach you? Never despair, never give up. Because, frankly, last season was a real failure. Svetlana Vladimirovna told me that right away. When I joined the group, she said this season would be very tough, and she even suggested I skip it. But since I'm not one to take the easy way out, I tried to fight to the end. It was probably hard to find the strength to do it with each competition. When you know you're arriving at the start, and the previous competition was a success. And that's how it was with every competition. I knew I shouldn't give up, especially since Svetlana Vladimirovna's words always helped. Her support, and the support of the entire coaching staff, both Stanislav Vladimirovich and Vitaly Yurievich, who were with me at every competition. I knew deep down that every athlete probably needs at least one bad season to become stronger later. Did you ever regret switching? Not once, never. I haven't regretted it. And even though I'm not doing well at something right now, I'll never regret it. Because now I genuinely enjoy figure skating, and I come to practice every day, realizing that I love it. Oddly enough, at 21, I already love figure skating. I haven't really given myself a time frame by which to draw conclusions. I'm just trying to forget about last season, and I want, firstly, to at least prove it to myself, and secondly, to prove it to my family. Because they invested so much in me, and they put a lot of effort into me last season. I want to recoup all that effort, money, and so on. I want to prove that last season was a failure and that the coming seasons will only get better. And better, Samsenov said. Choreographer and producer Ilya Averbuk announced that Alexandra Trusova will not perform in his show. On September 5th, we've already warned her that she plans to perform in Japan. Sasha won't be at the show. The competition is most important. We've reached an agreement with the Terry Georgievna Tutbirds, and the audience has been notified. We're rooting for Trusova in Japan, Averbuk said. The skater is currently awaiting neutral status from the International Skating Union. Figure skater Ksenia Sinitsina shared her impressions of training at Evgeny Plushenko's academy. The 21-year-old skater transferred to Plushenko's academy in May of this year. She previously trained with Svetlana Panova at Snezhny Barsy. I'm slowly getting used to this training process. It's a completely new perspective on figure skating for me, a new approach to training. I'm finding the strength, working hard, challenging myself, and enjoying the process. Was the decision to change coaches a way to find motivation? Of course, because a monotonous atmosphere and comfortable conditions always begin to weigh on you, become tiresome, and at some point it all develops into burnout and a rejection of the situation. You want to breathe fresh air and be reborn, rediscovering your favorite sport. What surprised you most about Evgeny Plushenko's group? Evgeny Viktorovich himself, I didn't expect him to be so open, positive, kind, and creative. He always believes in something bright and better. I don't believe in myself as much as he believes in me. He really energizes and inspires me. During training, he always finds a moment to joke and encourage me. I'm happy with everything. I truly enjoy figure skating here. Goals for the upcoming season. Let that remain between Evgeny Viktorovich and me. We've set goals, but slow and steady wins the race. I don't want to make big words, I just want to do my job and show what we've been working on. Sinitsina said. State Duma deputy and Olympic champion Svetlana Zhurova commented on Russian figure skater Kamila Valieva's decision to hold a training camp in France. There's always been an exchange in figure skating. One coach can lead several people to competitions. And no one is saying that an athlete isn't a patriot if their program was choreographed by a coach from another country. There's one thing, the judges are foreigners. We currently have no influence whatsoever on the technical committee, so the trip can be explained by a desire to bring the program into line with their mentality. Although many here in Russia might not like this decision. Or perhaps Valiva decided that the judges would be more lenient towards her if they knew the program was choreographed by a Frenchman. So, in your opinion, the decision to hold training sessions in Europe was justified. In sports, if you understand that you can use someone else's knowledge, even foreign, to win, you have to do it. Combine it with your own and win. They, the foreign skaters, did this, using our knowledge, so why can't we do it now? If this is beneficial, then such a trip is only a plus. I myself went to the Netherlands to study their experience. We want to win. I understand that this might offend some people. And if there are no results, they will be held accountable in full, Zhurova told Match TV. 2012 World Championship silver medalist Elena Leonova assessed the return of figure skaters Alexandra Trusova and Kamila Valieva to the sport after a long break. The upcoming season will be the first full one in which Trusova and Valieva will participate. Do they have a good chance of making a real comeback on the Russian and, most importantly, international stage? It's hard to say when we haven't seen any programs, any announced content, goals for the season, objectives, and so on, because the girls weren't there, and it's clear they're preparing, which is already encouraging, but how they perform initially within Russian competitions will be a stepping stone as they gradually enter the international arena. And what's it like to rebuild your jump and quad technique at 19 or 20, when your body is already fully formed? I remember, for example, from Liza Tukhtamisheva's career. She mastered the triple axel quite well early on, right? And then she didn't perform it for a while. And then she brought it back as a mature skater. And she even learned a quadruple jump. So I think if you have a certain foundation, and if you've been performing all these difficult elements, let's say, before puberty, then afterward, when you're in good shape, it's not that difficult. Who and what will you be following most excitedly in the upcoming 2026-2027 season? If Valieva and Trusova make it into the season, then it will probably be there. Probably not a rivalry. I would say simply how they integrate back into the sport and what they perform. Very interesting, Leonova said. Leonova believes there is a pattern to the skaters' departure from Viteri Tutberidze. Previously, three-time Russian champion Adelia Petrosyan left Tutberidze's group. There is a theory that the main reason was Tutberidze's disappointment after the Olympics. Her public criticism of Adelia. Supposedly, this caused a rift in their relationship. Could this be the main reason? Actually, Adelia has spoken critically about herself, so I wouldn't say that played a role here. It's one thing to talk about yourself, but here the coach is saying it publicly. They asked Eteri Georgievna, and she said, "That's it, that's all." I don't think there was any reason to be offended. We don't know what really happened, what the pitfalls were, and so on. Some conversation took place. We can only guess, but I don't think it's related to that. A lot of talk and articles have appeared since this departure about how girls often leave Viteri Tutberidze after the Olympic cycle. What do you think might be the reason for this? Is it because she has rather strict requirements, and the girls burn out at some point. As far as I know, the training process there is generally quite rigorous, but that's what it takes to achieve results. So, it's certain that people leave her, and there's some pattern to it. Maybe they just can't handle it. I don't know how mentally, physically. They want to try something new, to train differently. And in contrast, sometimes, on the contrary, when you relax and don't demand too much of yourself, things actually turn out better in that kind of environment. Well, no, I wouldn't say that. I think Iteri does everything she can to get results. So, if you're ready to work, you go for it. If not, you don't. Right now, Trusova is actively preparing to continue her career at Krustelny. Could the growing intra-group competition have been the factor that led to Adelia's departure? On the contrary, it actually spurs her on. We remember the Medvedev-Zajatova rivalry. On the contrary, the girls work even harder. That's why I think competition in a group is very important. And it really helps an athlete grow, Leonova said. Pair skaters Elena Kostornaya and Georgi Kunitsa have confirmed they will compete in the new season. What are your plans? We're returning this season and will be competing. We're keeping our free program to the Master and Margarita. And we're not revealing the short program yet, but the style will be national, folk music, not Russian. We haven't skated to such a fast-paced piece before. What are your goals? Our goal is to reach the Olympics. We're planning on playing for the long haul. If our health allows, we'll skate as long as it allows. Pair skating isn't a fleeting sport. Of course, we'd like to go to the international competition. How will you manage with a child? We have a nanny, and the grandmothers help as much as they can. My son is growing. Although he's active, he's also calm. And the schedule at Angels of Plushenko is very convenient. We skate alone in the evenings, and during the day, too. Many people are writing on social media that a lot of you have been on the beaches this off-season. Are they even preparing? We just try not to share our training process. Why? We'll show everything at competitions. We train almost constantly, we stay in shape, we do triple throws, solo jumps and combination jumps, lifts, spins, death spirals. We do all the elements. There are no problems with that, Sport Express quotes the skaters' joint response.